Hey, everybody, we're live. It's the Toy Duo team. We're back for another Saturday. Roll the music.
When you have addiction and your shelves are overflowing. Hold tight. When you don't know what new is coming, but you fear you might miss out. Just sit right back. Just relax and watch and listen. The Toy Duo team brings you what you need. The toy news you didn't know you needed. Action figures, TV news, all the pop culture you can handle
I love it when a plan comes together. What?
on your shelf.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to another Saturday. John's probably still doing a live stream over on his channel. He's selling a bunch of vintage Star Wars figures for a friend. So if you need some vintage figures, he's got that sale going on. So you might want to check that out. I was over there earlier and nobody bid against me. Thank goodness. Yay.
What'd you win?
No Trooper and an AT-AT, but with the weapons, which I no longer have the weapons is really why I wanted them, right? So, but anyways, it's another Saturday. Mother's Day is tomorrow, unless you're from Mexico, then Mexican Mother's Day is today. And we have all of the Mother's Day stuff in store for everybody on the show, which, well, I didn't prepare anything, so no, there's nothing.
Nah.
How you guys doing? Memorial Day. Oh, is Memorial Day coming up also?
That in a month.
Couple weeks.
Nice. And
20.
then Pope. That's right. There is a new Pope, and he was born in the USA.
Where's your hat?
Chicago. Da Pope. We got Pope Bob over here.
Well, there is some controversy with him because he was in San Diego for a while and apparently like ignored some of the complaints of the constituents and stuff like that. Didn't have a very good track record of handling certain types of complaints. From my understanding, anyways, I just read the headline.
Yeah.
So that's what I think, right?
I'm not even Catholic. I'm just happy for Chicago.
But it didn't take very long. It was only 2 days. So White Smoke. So if you watched, what was that show that's on the movie on Peacock or whatever, about all the voting for the Pope, and then there was like deep conspiracy and John Lithgow how to be outed because he pulled a fast one on everybody and stuff like that. And then the guy was printing stuff out, left binders on everybody's desks. There was a whole political conspiracy and plot twists and turns.
It almost says the Conclave. Is that what you're thinking?
Yes, Conclave. Yeah,
Conclave.
I couldn't think of the name. Yeah.
I couldn't remember the name either. But if you saw that, then you kind of have an idea of what that was about. But let's get into the show. So this is the Toy Duo team. We're going to be talking about action figures and more. But like last week, I thought it would be fun to go on the internet and look for things that I thought were kind of interesting. And so I found these. And this one is, I've been in 2 helicopter crashes and 1 plane crash. There is only a small group of people who have survived that many crashes. I am also not a pilot. And the response is, I am also not a pilot. Explains why you crash so many times.
Well, shouldn't have been up in the air trying to play with things you don't understand. No.
And then this person saying, what was okay 10 years ago, but isn't today?
This is cruel, Vern.
And Eric. This is the reason that I put this one in there.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thought you'd get a kick out of that one. A couple more. This is a really buff looking dog, right? The homie did 25 years in the animals shelter.
Jacked Russell. Sorry, Jacked Russell Terrier is the fine print.
This looks crazy. And then this person just made some
bunkmate.
And then this person just made some cinnamon rolls, but not cinnamon. SINONYM for those of you who listen to the podcast. And the response was just like grammar.
Just like grammar used to make.
Anyways,
hey, I can't say that spell checker hasn't
Sometimes I think looking at the internet is fun.
Stabbed me in the back a few times.
Yes, it gets me on a pretty regular basis. Yeah. You know what's crazy is like on my phone, I sometimes can't hit certain letters for some reason, and it always pops up as another letter that's next to the letter I'm trying to type. And even if I backspace and like hit it, I still get the same wrong letter multiple times. So it's not faster to type, right?
Oh yeah, no.
I've tried to use
I'll hit so I'm constantly trying to hit anything on the lower key in the middle, and my thumb taps the space bar, so it starts. And if it's depending on what kind of mood it's in or what I've already typed, it'll start a new word, and then I'll have like 2 letters and then a space, or it'll autofill with something that I've accidentally let go before.
Right.
So like the is constantly RHE, and no matter how many times I corrected it, deleted it, I think I do it so much that it puts it back in there for me. At least that's
it just thinks that's what you wanted to write.
Yeah, and I'm like, no.
I sometimes wish that you could get one of those like QWERTY keyboard things and just attach it to the bottom of your iPhone.
They do.
Those types of things exist.
Yeah, give me a second, because there's I just saw an article with one that was coming out for the Motorola Razr.
Okay.
So you can, and Motorola has, and I'm not advertising them by any means, but they have that Razr, the small, when it's flipped, you can do everything pretty much almost with that front screen.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Prophet saying those are better than antonym rolls. All right, let's say hi to some people in chat while Dan's looking that up. Say hello to Paisano777 saying hello to everybody. We got Prophets in here, Rolando's in here, Cedar Stuff. Let's see. Am I missing? I just skipped over Dan, Rolando, Paisano. Let's see. Northern Nomad is saying, what's up, suckers? Prophets in here. Blue Sasquatch, yes, this is live. And we'll just continue on as we see people popping into the chat. Did you find it yet, that keyboard for the Motorola?
I didn't think it was going to be that difficult to find.
So I will just, as a side segment about seeing stuff that's coming out, a couple of years ago was looking for Super 8 film. You guys know what Super 8 is? Yeah. It's like the old film that you would use in like a camera. So there was regular 8, and then there was a transition. It became Super 8. It's like in a cartridge, and I was looking to see if that was still available. So I saw that Kodak or whatever was going to be coming out with a Super 8 camera, but was also going to shoot in digital. So at the same time, it would record everything in digital format, but it would also be filming on the Super 8 cartridge. So then you could send in your Super 8 cartridge and get your reel, and then you might also get like a DVD with it transferred already to video, right? But you would have the digital anyway, so you didn't really need it. I don't know why you get a DVD now, because, I mean, no computers
drives
anymore. But anyways, I got an email. I put my email in there and said, hey, I'd like to be advised when this is going up. And this has got to be 4 or 5 years later now. I finally see it. They want like thousands of dollars for this thing. Wow. And I'm like, no, I'm not paying thousands of dollars for 1965 technology.
I was going to say, for that much, you could get a nice 4K camcorder if you wanted to.
I understand that the film might be a little bit more expensive, right? And getting it developed might be expensive, but the actual camera,
the novelty of that is not worth the price.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Super 8, they made a film about it. They did. They called it
J.J. Abrams or
with the kids.
Yeah.
All right. Did you find it, Dan? The QWERTY keyboard?
Yes, Clicks.
Clicks.
So if you're interested in having the physical keyboard again, Clicks makes a fully integrated. You just
do they have one for iPhone?
Mm-hmm. Yep, iPhone 16 actually.
Oh wow!
One right now is $139.
Wow. Oh, that's a little bit pricey.
It's a little salty, yeah, but it's very well. Yeah.
I'm just imagining I'm holding the QWERTY keyboard, and then all of a sudden, the only thing holding it on is that little lightning post thing, and then I go like this and turn, and my phone goes flying.
I think it's like it's almost like a cover.
So do you think it's like Bluetooth then?
Yeah. No, I think it plugs in.
Oh, okay. Oh, Paisano plus 145%. Yeah, because it might be made in China.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a Galactic Mule, and he's saying, "Ha! Yes, he's laughing because you're all paying your tariffs." No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks for that.
All right, so this week we're going to do something a little bit different to get going before we do the. Do you guys want to just do Bragging Camp first, or do you want to do this history section?
Up to you.
You guys
The history of toys.
Okay, history of toys, ladies and gentlemen. Special segment called the history of toys. You did not know you needed. Now I didn't write out did not, so I should just read it correctly. You didn't know you needed. So this is the history of the toys. I was thinking more of like history of the world, but history of toys. So let's go through this just a little bit. First of all, I'd like to point out that back in the early 70s, toys were banned by a guy named the Burgermeister Meisterburger. He apparently stepped on a toy, stubbed his toe, and got really upset. But then the country of Mattel, they broke away and secretly hired elves to make toys in the Arctic Circle.
Now they make physical keyboards for.
All right. Anyways, that's a joke. But they're going to be hit with 100%. Anyway,
not the elves. You already got the penguins.
okay. Anyways, that was a little joke news just to get us started. And continuation of the story next week when we find out that the country of Hasbro has joined the country of Mattel and moved into Greenland.
I was going to say that's when Greenland was formed.
Anyways, let's start off with a little bit of history first. We'll tell a little bit of history every week, right? So we want to talk about how we get to where we're at because most of us here watching the show or being part of the show collect action figures. So that little figure on the left is a clay mannequin that was created circa 1525. So that was a long time ago, but it was made out of clay. So I might consider that some type of an action figure because he looks like he's fully posable, but they did not coin the word action figures, so they just called it a clay mannequin. But anyways, toys were made out of clay, wood, whatever, back in the time, and craftsmen had to actually make these. Like Geppetto would make Pinocchio, like everybody's seen the Disney movie. So toys were like expensive. But the first thing that ever happened was the Industrial Revolution, right? Which revolutionized just manufacturing in general. So we would all agree that that was probably the biggest turning point in manufacturing and especially making stuff cheaper. But what else do you guys think was the most important invention leading to modern action figures?
Plastic.
What was that?
Plastic.
Yes. Yes. Plastic. Dun, 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 ding, ding. Dan gets a point. Okay, so plastic. Plastic was developed actually by accident in 1933 in England. They couldn't reproduce it though. It wasn't reproduced until 1935. And then when World War II started, Britain suspended the commercial use of plastic because they found out that it had like this very low tolerance to like bouncing off like RF, right? So they knew that they could use it for like shielding and RF cables and stuff like that. So they kind of like stopped the commercial use and kept it kind of a secret because they were applying it in military applications during World War II. And it wasn't until like breakthroughs in the 50s that made production capabilities just much better. So it was around the mid to late 50s that plastic was basically just became more universal. I think it had to do with they were able to make plastic easier to work with at colder temperatures or something like that. Cedar stuff, laugh out loud. 1,500 pinless joints. Yes. Can you imagine that? Look at this. Look at them clay mannequin.
Well, he said that mannequin has better elbow joints than the Star Wars Black Series. So I said,
and knee joints.
Pinless joints.
And if you look really closely on his feet, he's got those toe pivots that Maximum Series Spider. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, then it was in 1964 that Hasbro coined the term action figure and used it to market the G.I. Joe action figure, which they then licensed to Palitoy, who then made the Action Man, and then I think it was Takara licensed it in Japan, and they were also making Action Man, but they also used that same mold to make this Cyborg 1 figure out of the same torso and stuff like that. And it's a robotics underneath all that torso stuff. That was in the mid 70s. And the cool thing about that Cyborg 1 was they had outfits. So like you would get this like cyborg, and then you would get different outfits, and you would dress them up, and you put like the different face on or whatever, and it could be almost any character you wanted. So a little bit of history of action figures right there. Anybody have any of these in their collection?
No, but you know what? My mom had I think I've talked about this before, Jane and Johnny West, which were like, I want to say like very, very early on plastic. Because
yes,
it was whatever they used did not age well. So if
brittle, very brittle.
If you didn't keep it in the perfect condition, moist, cool, no heat, no extreme temperatures, whatever. I know some of the stuff that she had when I went to go pull it out of the little tin that she left it in, it just crumbled.
Yeah. The Marx Toys made those, right? No, who made the Marx?
Was it Marx? I think you're right.
Yeah, Marx, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Cedar Stuff is don't forget Barbie, maybe the most important action figure. Yeah, Barbie did come out before G.I. Joe, but of course they didn't really call it an action figure, right? But speaking of Barbie, let's show the newest Barbie really quick while we're on the subject. And here you go. Did that come up? Oh, no, it did not.
What?
There is the Barbie Fair Play. As the kid super mixes his hair. And everybody will want that for Christmas.
What?
Was this a reference of?
Yeah.
Cedar Stuff has said, don't forget Barbie, maybe the most important action figure ever. Because Barbie came out before G.I. Joe.
No. I mean, the getup for the Barbie doll.
You know what? I just got the email, and I thought I would figure out a way to show it. Timely.
No, I was just curious if I was supposed to know what this.
So they're calling him
Flair Play.
Styled by Kid Super Ken doll. Whatever that is. Styled by Ken. It's a styled by Ken.
Yeah. I don't know. That doesn't look anything like Ryan Gosling.
Okay. Kind of looks like what's that guy from Saved by the Bell?
Oh,
Gosler, right?
Yeah. No, Saved by the Bell. You're thinking of the blonde guy, right?
Yeah.
Isn't
his name like Mark Paul Gosselaar?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was in NYPD Blue for a while, right? No, that was Ricky Schroeder. Anyways, doesn't matter. I don't remember any other names. I use a lot of those huge processed plastic vehicles. They're double durable, and they were in the USA. Used a lot of those. Oh, you know what? Yeah, the processed plastic has vehicles, and they are fairly decent sided. If you were to find one, I think it's called processed plastics, right? Yeah, and you can fit your 6-inch figures in them, and they look pretty cool. I have a Trans Am downstairs, and I'm getting ready to make a mod for it. Yeah, Mark Gosselaar. Yeah. All right, I knew somebody would know. Okay, so let's.
Norman got it.
Yeah,
I don't know this character though.
All right, let's do the bragging camp right now. So, does anybody have anything that they want to show off this week? Not everybody.
I got my Tony the Tiger, man.
Oh, hold on. Did you really?
I thought that was a box, cereal box. I forgot about
my cereal box.
That is cool. There,
in case I got some, the munchies while we were sitting here. I thought I'd leave my cereal box.
That is cool.
He's got a lot of cool stuff. I'm sure you probably saw the promos pictures 'Cause
That's a
everybody-
basketball, right? In there?
I believe
Yeah.
it is. Yes. You know,
Yeah.
just for
At
you.
the
That's
top.
cool.
I can get it open quickly here for you.
How many of you have a Keurig in your toy room?
It's an espresso.
Oh yeah, Paisanos. I have a Firebird as well.
Oh, sweet.
Place a sticker on the hood, and it's awesome. Yeah. Hey,
And-
Paisano, where'd you get the sticker? Did you get it on eBay or did you make your own? Because I'm thinking about buying like some of that vinyl, the like gold flake vinyl, and just drawing out a Firebird and cutting it out and sticking it on the thing. And I'm gonna cut out the teapot.
Got basketball, bowl of cereal, a hand with a cereal.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Nice.
Oh,
Pretty articulate too. He's got
Yeah.
quite a few joints.
so he's articulable.
Articulable, yes, as Vern would say.
I don't know. The word throws me off all the time. GeForce will make fun of me if he's. Let's see. Bakelite invented in 1907 was the first synthetic plastic, and shellac was early form of natural plastic. Little more plastic history. I was. Yeah. I should have been more exact on mine because it was more like polymer or whatever. Look at that.
That's cool.
That's pretty impressive. It's not cardboard either. You've got the nutrition on the side.
I dare you to read me what the ingredients are.
Oh God.
Surely they're not words.
I can read. No. It says I can read nutrition facts, and I can read the word calories. And I can see the numbers and the per servings. I think if I had a magnifying glass, man, I could. It's even got the
Wow.
disclaimer on the side.
Well, if
Yeah,
it-
no, it's got it on there.
they make printing pretty something small. You know those aces of aviation. Apparently, if you zoom in on the watch, you can read the time, and the time is supposedly an Easter egg.
What?
The time that the watch is set to, with the date or whatever, is supposedly an Easter egg.
Like from the movie?
I have never been able to see that small. So, all right, shellac. Northern Nomad just loves the word shellac, and he likes the word suckas. All right, Eric, you have anything?
Yeah, I've got some May the 4th pickups. I haven't opened it yet, but the 501st helmet.
Why
from
does that just
GameStop.
look so gigantic?
Well, I mean, that's
Yeah,
not to
because it's so
scale.
close to the screen. There's a perspective issue. Yeah.
All right, there's that.
Do you want to put it on for the rest of the show and see how the voice changer works?
When I opened up my Tony, come on, you gotta put that.
Negative.
No, come on.
I got this. I got this sweatshirt from that company, Roosevelt's. They had some
Ooh, I like
exclusive
that one.
style on the Disney store. So,
That is some vintage Star Wars
Now that
on there.
I think it's still available in case anyone's interested. I picked up this awesome Tauntaun hat. I was gonna wear it, and then I realized I wouldn't be able to really wear my headphones on the stream. And then I picked up the
Droid pack.
droids from the Sanctuary.
Nice. I like them.
was that easy to get? Was that one of the where they?
I'm not sure if this is still in stock. I can check. And then I haven't opened it, but I got a new lightsaber. Saul's lightsaber from the Acolyte.
That's cool.
So that's about it.
Galactic Mule.
Yeah, my brother almost got a Tauntaun hat too. The only thing I got is not a new pickup. It's a figure I was working on a week ago. So if you watch the end credits to the new Avengers or Thunderbolts, there's a little cutscene where they're showing the U.S. agent. He's wearing his little beret again. He does have the A, so I didn't really do that, but I did do the repaint to get the white and the red. And then, of course, I needed to make the taco shield.
You think they would have had the budget to get him a new shield?
Well, he's been trying to bend it back, I think. I think it's just going to be like a comedy thing. And then, of course, I did the beard and the mustache on the Walker head sculpt that I already had. So
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty good job on the costume design too.
thanks.
Nice.
Well, they did that. That's actually the original. That's the U.S. agent mold, right? The only thing is, like, I had to reverse the red and the red. The white ones became red in the new movie, and then the ones that were red are now white.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that's what.
I want to say there was because I have two of the MCU figures. The one that was the special, the 10th anniversary or whatever it was,
Uh-huh.
and then the regular carded one. And the only difference is the one came with a better head sculpt and an alternative head.
Right.
And
This is
the red was a different shade.
yeah. So one
Dark.
was I don't know what that U.S. agent one was. That he comes with the shield, the bloody
Yeah.
shield or whatever.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then this guy right here was the one that comes with the head sculpt. This was from the Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier.
Okay. Yep.
And yeah, so I think what had happened was he's pretty much got the same outfit, except for this logo in the new one will just be the Avengers, which I call the communicator because it just reminds me of
With the
the Star Trek communicators, Next Generation ones. But all the figures have this crappy gun that is just molded on the side of his leg, and he cannot draw it out.
see, that's stupid.
Yeah, and he uses that gun, so I think it's kind of like a missed opportunity that they give a gun wielding superhero a gun that he can't use.
They even make a point to show it in the movie in the van scene.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, anyways, which is a good segue, I guess, because we can just lead right into the TV and movie news you did not know you needed.
There it is.
I don't know why I write didn't, and then I always read it as do not. Do you think that's like
Let's click on Steve's
that's like a mind thing, huh?
Freudian slip.
No, I think there's like a word for the way you like speaking out conjunctions or something like that. There's a word for it.
Oh, I guess I just would have thought like dyslexia or something.
Yeah. All right. Anybody want to talk about Andor?
Let's do it.
All right, go ahead. Tell us
these
what
last
you think, Dan.
Oh, you haven't seen it, Dan.
I haven't seen it, so
I'll just say these last 3 episodes are so far the best of the series. Things get nuts and real tense, and I like how they weaved it into what we've already seen in Star Wars Rebels around this time period.
Yeah, somebody said if you watch like season 3, episode 18 or something like that, it takes place right after this thing on
Yeah.
Dorm.
After episode 9, which is the last. Of
Okay,
this
after the Senate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. These guys are making fun of me. They're saying it's
it's an age thing.
age or just say didn't.
Yeah.
I can't even pronounce didn't. But yeah, I agree with you. It was very that episode 8. That was the build up to the big Shuha or whatever, the big shindig.
It's the Gorman it's the Gorman massacre. It's not
Yeah.
a spoiler because they reference this in Rebels.
Right.
So.
It was pretty good to me, like the build up.
Yeah.
Really good. I was so impressed with it. And then I just love that Cyril and Andor getting into it at the end of the episode. Was
Who?
great.
Now is
I just thought of when he was like, "Who are you?"
Who are
I was
you?
thinking. I was thinking of the thing, the line in Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm Star-Lord. Who?
What I would have liked to see though was when Deidre stepped back from like the window, maybe that we actually see like a blast mark on the window or something like that, where he
Yeah,
right,
it's kind of weird that there wasn't like a single attempted shot,
right.
even while things were going.
Well,
nuts.
he got 2 shots off when Cyril jumped him, so it would have been nice to see where one of those rounds hit.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Maybe because he was saying it's going to take 2 shots to go through the glass or whatever. Because that's typical, right? You got to hit the glass and then you get the accurate shot. So it would have been nice to see like at least one laser ding in the glass or something.
yeah.
Jonathan saying Andor's been awesome this season. Wish we saw more Imperial tech like walkers and the TIE fighters. Yeah, I was curious about why the TIE fighters weren't shooting down into the crowds.
I was half expecting a TIE fighter to just mow down the crowd.
Yeah. That's what I was expecting too. Can I say what? So watching this culmination of events, right, and thinking back on the season, I feel like Luthen and Saw Gerrera are kind of more on par with each other because of how far out they are in pushing the build up,
Yeah,
right, where we really got to see Andor kind of withheld, like he wasn't the brutal killer spy that we always thought he was in Rogue One, right? The ruthless, whatever. We see that. I'm sorry, when he went to Gorman and he didn't want to participate in the previous episodes, right? He was like, no, they're not ready. I don't want any part of that. And I think he was hesitant going there this time. And then just having him watch everything that was happening just gave me a different perspective on the character, which I liked, right? And then because of how him and Luthen are a little bit at odds on the means to the end, it started making me think about how Jyn Erso hadn't been talking to Saw Gerrera for a while, right? Because he was more radical than she wanted or something like that. And
she also got caught.
Yeah, but it makes me wonder, like, how if we got a second type of a show with a build up to that, but it followed, like, say, Erso's character, who we know, to the point where she gets caught or something like that, we would see, like, encompassing a couple years, we could see a whole nother progression towards the same.
Oh yeah, that would be an interesting show concept to do Erso.
And like her kind of faction and how that grew. I just thought that would be kind of interesting.
I hadn't thought of that. That's a really good idea. I highly doubt it will happen, but
sure. Do you think they de-aged Saw Gerrera, or do you think that he just does not look like he's aged ever?
Well, I mean, they definitely did makeup or whatever, but like Forrest Whitaker doesn't look like
he doesn't
bum or whatever.
It's weird, like, when you look at because when I look at some of these actors and I know, oh, well, they're much older now, but they don't look much older. You know what I mean? They look
like I feel like he's one of those that started looking kind of rough a little
early.
Yeah.
So now he's just
he's vaguely old, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean, probably in his 40s, pushing 60.
So. Like I told somebody at work, I was like, kind of like Abe Vigoda in the late 70s, early 80s when he was on Barney Miller. He looked like he was 80.
Yeah.
And he looked the same on Sopranos or whatever, right?
I mean, it's a neat trick.
So let's see. Okay, I want to read whether I believe Mon Mothra wasn't more pissed at Luthen about Tacoma.
Tacoma, yeah.
Okay. Be like they killed him, right?
Because they killed him?
Because they killed him, yeah. I mean, I think that, like, she had a personal interest in him, right? So she always thinks like, oh, well, I could have fixed the problem.
Yeah. Well,
But I did like Luthen's line when he's like, "How nice for you." When he was explaining to her that something had to be done, and she was
Yeah.
like, "I don't know what you mean." He's like, "How nice for you."
yeah.
Anyways, I did I interrupt you, Eric? I'm sorry.
No, I'm loving it. Yeah, no more notes. I'm just really excited for
Yeah.
Tuesday with the last three, because right after that I'm gonna go right into watching Rogue One.
Somebody else said that, but they said that they went and watched it already.
Just to get ready for it.
I think so.
Yeah, I did like that. So the very end of the last episode, I liked when they, of course, right, brought the robot to life.
Oh yeah, that's one thing that I was kind of surprised about. That they only just now introduced K2SO.
Oh,
I
he's in the
thought
show.
that- What?
He's in the show.
Yeah. Well, that's not a spoiler.
Oh, I don't care. I mean, I kind of figured at some point in time he'd show up. I mean, they had to.
Well,
I-
Alan Tudyk was like doing press and whatnot. Sorry if I assumed you knew
that's
that.
okay.
Sorry.
I think that the reason why it was held off for so long is cost.
Well, I think it came more. I'll disagree with you there, because I would have expected it to happen early, but the story of the Gorman massacre makes perfect sense for the introduction of the use of like the KX security droids and really seeing them in action.
Right.
So
Okay.
based on when that needed to happen in the timeline, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. It just I was just surprised he only came in just now. So
Okay. Oh, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. And you know what? They did allude to changing the brain chip in there. So that could get explained later, right? That could actually be his little red droid.
yeah.
I mean, they didn't really say outright, but they
EMO,
kind of said that it's either going to accept it or reject it or whatever. So,
yeah.
that'll probably get explained. Let's see. The series has been good. I'm a little
Yeah.
sad for getting 2 seasons instead of the original 5, but I understand
agree.
why.
Agree.
Let's see, Jonathan is saying is a pretty
Bad droid.
bad droid for a rebel spy to own. When you think about it, can't really take him anywhere without drawing a ton of attention. Yeah. But he can always be taking you prisoner.
There you go.
KX security droids are never late. They arrive precisely.
I think you're mixing quotes there.
Anyways, I agree. I think these were probably the best 3 episodes, and I think that like the way that they've done the episodes is a perfect example of how instead of doing a season of a show, they could theoretically do 3 mini movies and then put them out quarterly even, and just fill your Star Wars or your Marvel or whatever with something like that, right?
The way that they've done season 2 of Andor with those 3 hour-ish long episodes, that's for me, like, it's a lot to watch in a single night, so you're not spoiled, but at the same time it's so much more satisfying to get something of substance rather than like 20 to 30 minute show weekly.
I agree with you. Do you think that the streaming service should, or Disney should think about a way to skip to next episode, and when you do that it just skips like the recap and the credits, so if you're watching them all and binging them, you can basically just at the end of the episode hit skip. It will skip the credits and stuff, and then just pick up in the story so that you can just watch them like a movie?
Well, I know the streaming services want those to happen, but sometimes like it's built into contracts that like streaming services can't skip credits or whatever, right?
I can understand that because theoretically, like somebody who works on one episode might not be in the credits of another episode, so they want to make sure. I mean, for legality reasons, but I kind of wish there was a way to just go, hey,
Yeah.
play his movie or something like that, and it would just show me all the
Trust
credits.
trust me, any competent like product manager at like Netflix or wherever it wants to introduce that too. It's just usually a legal thing, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Bill's absolutely right. If it did offer that, it would cost extra.
All right. Anything you didn't like about any of the episodes or anything so far?
I don't like that. I feel bad for Cyril's mom.
Because he passed.
I don't like that. I felt bad for her at the end. It was just sad, and that's how good Rogue One is. Like from a writing and like acting perspective, is that you actually like care for.
Yeah.
Characters.
Well, is it a little bit different because they also showed Cyril's flaws a little bit, or not flaws, but so he works for this empire. He's going to do his job, but he sees like kind of like the difference between right or wrong in there.
Yeah, he recognizes the moral conundrum he's placed in once he realizes things, and
Right.
he shows that he has a bigger moral center than Dedra does. Dedra has the same realization, but she's just ice cold. So it'll be really interesting to see how Dedra's character shakes out in these last 3 episodes. My main prediction for the last 3 is that Luthen's going to get found out and executed publicly.
Oh yeah, like I thought was going to happen in the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
When they were in the art thing, I thought somebody was getting it. My brother's talking about how it costs more to get those tiers, and then he's also speculating there's going to be some sort of commercial tiers where you can choose the amount of commercials you want to watch. And then is he saying there's going to be a tariff tier?
Probably. I mean, they're already doing that though, aren't they, with the commercials? Because you got to pay extra on Prime to cut out the commercials, and you still get commercials. Because we pay for the advertisement free.
Uh-huh.
They still give you those commercials at the beginning of the movie. You can't skip.
I just realized Netflix, do they do commercials now too?
I think they talked about doing that as an option.
Because I heard now they have like different tiers,
right,
that you could get. And I know like with Paramount Plus, what I did was I had Showtime part of Hulu at one point, but then I realized when I started doing Paramount Plus, I saw that getting the Paramount Plus with Showtime was cheaper than the add-on basically that I was getting for Hulu. And then it also eliminated the commercials on Paramount. So I just switched it over to Paramount.
Oh, okay. Sneaky.
But you're right. They still do show a little bit of you can skip in 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 3, 2. Yeah. Otherwise you end up watching a commercial. Okay, tell me who this is, Eric Raddus, that everybody's talking about.
Admiral Raddus. He's the dark gray Mon Calamari from the other pole of the planet as Akbar.
Okay, I got it.
So it's from Rogue One.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, I understand now. Advert for the tiers on Netflix. I'm thinking about Andor. There will be one to take out Luthen. Dude knows too much. Oh yeah. Oh, Andor.
I mean, that's
Luthen. Yeah.
I mean, that's possible too. I just think that at some point, Dedra and the ISB will catch up to Luthen, and he'll be hung publicly in that Monument Square.
Wow.
Or in front of the Imperial Palace, the old Jedi Temple, or the Senate building.
Well, theoretically, something has to happen to him because we never see him again.
Oh yeah, he's not referenced.
Right. So
That's why that's my main prediction, right? I think Luthen and Dedra are probably most at risk of being offed.
what about like you know how I was talking about that
Oh, and
Urso?
Bix. I bet Bix is toast in one of
Oh
these next
yeah,
episodes.
she's gonna have to because we never see her again, right?
Yeah.
What about you know how I was talking about the Urso movie? What about a Galen Urso one shot type deal where it's him inserting into the plans the flaw,
Oh,
right? And he has to kind of like um
yeah. There'd be some good crossover with the novel Cataclysm too, which is more about like Galen Urso's past with Krennic and whatnot, leading up to the events of Rogue One.
right.
So there's crossover there, but that would be interesting. Mads Mikkelsen is awesome, and so is Ben Mendelsohn.
I think I mean, this whole idea of that Rogue One just spawning the show just gives me like, you know, it's just like could be like a whole, it could
Then
be a whole bunch of,
you could do the Guardians of the Wills. You could Chirrut and Baze
yeah.
on in Jeddah City. So
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh, yeah. There's just so many.
there's a lot of potential.
All right.
Agrees that Bix is gone, but Steve says
Oh, sorry, I completely forgot one of the key points from the last series of episodes. Steve-O, thank you. I got
happened?
that wrong. She doesn't necessarily she doesn't die necessarily in the next 3 episodes. She left Andor so he could focus on the rebellion.
Yeah, but she did. I don't think. Yeah, I think.
He could still get word that she dies.
I think we're
I
gonna
don't
see.
know.
I think she didn't just leave to go like work. You know, go work at McDonald's, right? She went to go be a part of another
Maybe
rebel
work
group.
for
Is what I think.
Luthen again or something.
Yeah. Or she went on some, you know, like her own missions or something like that. And maybe what we find out like later is we see some secret thing where she's actually infiltrated the Empire or something like that and working her way up through the ISB or who knows, right? Maybe she becomes like an internal spy. We don't know how that's going to work out, so we'll see. All right, so let's see. I think there's a chance we might get an animated short series, Tales of the Rebellion. The 3-episode arcs that they do might cover for the jumps in the character. Yeah, that's true. I could do that. All right, let's get off of Andor. I think before we spoil it too much for Dan. We didn't tell you too much, right, Dan?
Oh no, no, nothing. Like I said, I'll probably forget most of what we talked about.
All right, and
It's
then
good.
season 2 of Poker Face started on Peacock. If anybody is watching, it's a little bit of Columbo-ish detective. Rian Johnson's behind it.
Yeah.
The New Adventures is still in theaters, or has just launched this weekend in theaters because it took over for that other movie, Thunderbolts. And now I'm curious though, if you go see it this week, is your movie ticket say New Avengers?
Yeah, I think the Marvel Disney marketing team planned it that way.
Is that what they're talking about? Where they're saying it will appeal to like cinephiles because people that collect their movie tickets or something like that have to have both?
Maybe.
Okay.
See that they went to see it. So the asterisk is at the beginning.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to watching Poker Face, but I'm just gonna wait
Binge
until they're all out and binge it because that's not a show that anyone's going to spoil for me.
Right, because you know she's going to solve every crime every week.
No, it's just not that popular where like my social media feed is like 100%.
I'm going to be putting in a week recap
just to spite me.
just to let you know what happens. And then in a really tiny thumbnail there, you got a picture of the dude with the metal helmet, Bullet Man. Or what's his name?
Peacemaker.
Yeah. Why are we
ahead.
talking about? Eric was like, "I want to talk about Peacemaker." What's up with Peacemaker?
I'm just excited. I'm in another season of the show, so I'm.
Is it going to be in August?
Yeah, it premieres in August.
Okay, everybody, let's get ready. Hold on to your hats. Peacemaker's coming in August. Put it on your calendars. Make one of those little chains that you used to make as a kid when you're getting ready for Christmas, where you take off one link every day.
A little advent calendar drop countdown.
I guess I could still watch season 1.
You never watched season 1?
No.
Vern, you need to spend some time and watch Peacemaker. It is so good.
Okay. It looks like a cartoon.
It's ridiculous, but it's good.
All right. I guess I'll have to watch it. I don't know. It's going to be tough.
The intro to the show alone is like makes it like one of the best shows recently.
So did John Cena take over in season 2 for Wahlberg?
For Wahlberg.
He's really lost.
I'm just messing around because I always joke that Cena's doing all the roles that Wahlberg used to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right.
It's
All right, what?
HBO or Cinemax, right? What is it?
Yeah. So that's Peacemaker.
HBO. That's the only reason I haven't watched it, because I can't bring myself to paying for another dang streaming service.
All right. So yeah, there's a standard Netflix apparently, and then a pay version. We didn't say hi to Steve-O, DeviantSeek, say hi to Galactic Mule, Prophet. We said hi to, right? Let's see. Ricardo or Q is here. Jonathan joined us. Jonathan was over there buying a bunch of Star Wars figures, I think. Let's see. Who else did I miss?
Spending big money.
It's been a while. Gerard. Wayne.
I know I sound like a
Gen X Brian Myers.
streaming services, but
Is that new? Adding the Gen X in there?
I think you said that.
Oh, okay. Northern Nomad. Oh yeah, we talked about him because he called us suckers again. Suckers. All right, and then in catch up on world events, multiple retailers are now reporting that we can expect to see across the board Hasbro price hikes due to recent tariffs to take place here in the U.S. tomorrow on May 9th. For many retailers, you will probably see them kick in as early as midnight tonight. Amazon last night actually started updating prices on several Hasbro figures for G.I. Joe Classified, Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series. For instance, the G.I. Joe Classified Dreadnought Monkey Wrench figure, which was originally $24.99, is now being sold for $27.99 on their website.
Man.
And then I can't remember who I got these from, but I did pull these off of like Twitter. Okay. Oh, Jonathan saying wasn't me. Okay, sorry. I don't do vintage. I thought that was I thought, oh, you're right. You know what? It didn't have your last name on there. It was different Jonathan. You're right. It was. Okay. So anyways, what they're speculating is that Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series, and G.I. Joe Classified will have a base price of $30 or $29.99. Star Wars The Vintage Collection could potentially be $21.99. FX lightsabers could be $325. Marvel and Star Wars roleplay helmets could be $130. Transformers prices could be $30 for a deluxe, $40 for Voyager, $260 for a Titan, and $120 for a Commander. Has anybody seen any of these prices like that yet?
I haven't seen Pulse adjust prices.
I haven't either.
Yet.
No, I did see that Big Bad Toy Store sent out some sort of a notification saying that they were told that they could anything that was pre-ordered before by May 9th, the price would be locked in. There would be no increase on that price.
Yep.
Even though they had for other vendors, they said that there were going to be like some sort of a surcharge later, depending on how much that was going to cost them.
So right now,
yeah,
Big Bad Toy Store still has the listings for the same, like Monkey Wrench is still $25.99, but they've got that tariff disclaimer, right?
Right.
So I don't know that they're gonna, if they've got that up there on all the items anyway, so they're probably not gonna adjust it, because why raise it to 27 until they know for sure? Because then it's just gonna honk people off. If you're like, well, one week you log in at $27.99, the next time it's $29.99, versus just saying, look, we don't know.
Right.
And which is what they did. They got their little blurb on their front page, on their splash page, and then excludes tariff charges on all the products. So
yeah, the problem is when I look at Amazon right now, and I'm looking at the classified, they have pre-orders which are $24.99 still, but they have like one guy who's 27, but he's on sale because typically 33. I think that's a reseller probably, right? And I'm not pulling up the monkey wrench that they're talking about, but I have other figures that are pulling up that are for pre-order, and they have not changed their prices. But when I went and looked at like my affiliates page, and I was looking at these figures that I have, a lot of them were coming up without prices or unavailable, or you had to click in to see what the choices were, like the new Han Solo, the Dash Rendar, and stuff like that had no prices anymore. So I didn't know if they were already sold out, or if they were just showing sold out, or if there was an update going on, because it wasn't like that before. And then that the Ronin figure 69, I think that went up. Like, did that go up? No, that's the same, right? And then
I
the
think so.
Maximum Hulk is 64. Did that thing go up? Yeah, that went up like $5.
Yeah, I think he did.
And then apparently people who ordered from Target and ordered that retro collection New Hope figure set,
Canceled.
they were all canceled. And I have a feeling that they're just saying technical reason. And I just have a feeling that might be
sorry, we don't want to sell it to you anymore at that price.
right, because we don't know what we're going to have to pay for it. Or Hasbro reached out to them and said, hey, we stopped the production of these in China, and we are going to move the production to like Vietnam. So they're probably not going to come out when they're probably going to be delayed like 6 to 8 months.
Or a
Longer.
shipping container is at the bottom of the Pacific or something.
Yeah, it could be easy, right? Like, let's see, Subpar 7 store was caught jacking up prices on items they have been in stock for months.
Perfect. And Brian said that the Entertainment Earth already jacked up their prices on the Black Series.
I just hope that hopefully when this nonsense is over with, that companies don't use this as an excuse to just keep prices where they're at, because that won't be very good.
It's an interesting thing that you say, Eric, because when we talk about gas prices here, where I'm at one point gas prices were upwards of, I mean, this was a while ago, but I remember when they got almost just like $6 a gallon.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anything under like $3 in like a decade, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think the lowest I think I've seen in the last decade has been like $3.40 a gallon. And it just feels like that, prices have gone down, but there's still a point where they just know that they can keep them high.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying.
We teeter like on a really great run. We'll have like 270 here. I mean, I've seen it fluctuate around the 270 mark, but you're right. I mean, 225. We'll probably never see that again. Right?
Yeah.
And could we? Sure.
And the thing is, you're paying 270 now. When I went and put gas in my car the other day, it was $3.99. And that was a 4-cent increase over last week. So it's ridiculous that I have to know what gas prices are.
And how much is that? I mean, how much? You guys do, and I was completely off topic, but I'm more just curious. I know it's not toys, but Upside is an app that I always hear the commercial for around here.
Okay.
You guys do any of that?
For gas, I just go to Costco because I get like the cash back.
You get
I feel like the quality of the gas is what I'm okay with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
I
use
just
Costco gas too.
yeah, I just use it because it's one, it's convenient, and two, like they always seem like they have the best price in the area, and I know I'm not getting like watered down gas for the
Nothing
most part.
bad. Yeah. Jonathan's got a good point. Vietnam might be is not a great solution for them when Hasbro moved Transformer production over there. The QC issues went through
Yeah.
the roof. Yeah, you got a brand new probably plant, right? Where versus the legacy plant employees and people that are used to running the machines and used to
Yep.
the quirks of everything. I highly doubt they went and spent the money on brand new equipment. They probably transferred some of the old crap. I can
Sure.
tell you from experience that never works out very well, and it takes. We had a large, and I'm not kidding. This thing was from like 19, I want to say 50, and they sent it to our facility from another one and said, "You guys get it running in 2 months at the capacity that it was running before." Mind you, it's sat for like 5 months prior to that.
Yeah.
I-
And then
I'd be-
nobody's trained on it.
Exactly.
I'd be surprised if Hasbro's manufacturing plants are owned by them. I'd be pretty confident that they'd be like subcontracted to whatever Chinese companies that just manage all the production and whatnot. So I wonder if those companies are like they're still working with the same partners, but their partners are opening up in Vietnam or wherever, or if they're just working with completely different people and completely different like machinery. So
Yeah, I agree. I think
That's a good question.
probably not them. It's whatever.
it could be. I don't know how they're structured, but
I bet you that they're using pretty universal equipment because they want to be able to send molds from one factory to another factory if it's like a big company like Hasbro, right?
yeah.
Like they want the machines in these different countries to be able to use the same molds that they have here or there or whatever. That would be my guess. But you never know.
Mhm.
All right. And then how will tariffs affect my order? It says starting on May 6th, 2025, select pre-order collectibles products. I'm not wearing my glasses. The U.S. customers will include a tariff surcharge fee, which will vary by item and be visible in your cart before checkout. This is Mondo. So that's what Mondo is basically saying.
These things should be transparent. Like, what's the actual percentage associated with the price of the product associated with these tariffs? I mean, you itemize like sales tax for your city and state and whatnot. Or city, county,
wasn't
state.
in the news they were saying that that's what Amazon was planning to do, and they kind of pulled back because they got a little
Flack.
bit of
Yeah.
for it. So
Trump jerked off Bezos or whatever.
yeah.
Sorry.
So the thing is like, yeah, it'll be tough to figure out because your percentage is going to be. It's a weird thing because
Well, they have to calculate it somehow, right? So it's traceable.
So here's where you're going to run into a bigger. This is where companies are going to have a bigger issue, right? So they bring in a container full of, let's just say, Magnum PI figures, because he's right, and there's 10,000 of them on the truck or whatever, or in the container, and Hasbro then has to pay a tariff on the 10,000.
Yeah.
Right. And then they're going to put this guy up for sale and you're going to pay your portion of that tariff. Well, just think about the ones that go unsold. Right. So they're really going to be in the red at that point.
Yeah.
And then, so they're going to have to pass that along somewhere else. So what they're going to end up doing is, I know that like I was just hearing how Subpar was raking up the prices on their other stuff. Let's just say they have, this Bosch figure already in their factory, but they already shelled out a boatload of money for those Magnums that aren't selling. They're going to have to raise the price on this one.
Well, they're doing that now. A lot of these places, they're stopping you from ordering at the current price point, whether it's in stock or not,
Right.
so that they can hedge against whatever losses
Whatever
they
they're
might
yeah, because
take. Yeah,
because
Or-
it's not like they can like wait and pay that cost when the item sells because they're actually doing it here.
I mean, it's still very possible to calculate that. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, and so you know you got that Cold Slither GI Joe set that's supposed to be at Comic-Con. That thing could end up being like very, very expensive.
Yeah, it could be like a $300 set.
Right. So as much as it looks
I don't know,
cool,
maybe that's excessive. I can't remember how many pieces
Yeah.
there were.
it's 4 figures and then the band equipment. Right. So
I wouldn't be surprised 200 to 300.
yeah, I mean, just because of the surcharge, because it doesn't look like they're already produced. So they're
Yeah.
probably heading over or something like, you know, going into final production. They still have a little bit of time, unless they're just going to have them, not necessarily going to have them on. The year is 2030. Orlando Cast, yes.
I feel so bad. I haven't seen a Return of the Jedi Mando on the pegs at any stores I've been to in a really long time. I'd be really sad if I saw one pop up like years from now.
Listen, I saw somebody posted a picture of the Disney has an outlet store and they had Black Series figures in there for like $8. And I saw Merrick in the guy's picture. And I was
yeah.
like, oh, and I was like, oh, I would definitely get that guy for $8 because the cheapest I can find him is like 30, 35. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's
Yeah,
a good deal.
they didn't produce that one long.
Yeah, and if I could get in there, I would have got in there and got one of those. But anyways, all right, let's move on from tariff talk because it's depressing.
Yeah,
It's really taxing.
This is the hot or not section. These are the toys revealed.
Oh
What? What I missed?
no, I'm just groaning at the dad joke.
My dad joke just put Eric over the edge.
I'm gonna re-listen now because all right. This is the hot or not section. Watch how I read this. The toys revealed that you didn't know you needed.
Got it. Bravo.
I could actually do it. I thought it was some sort of reading disorder. All right, so this is going to be the Mondo 1/6 scale blue tail dude. No, I mean obviously Nightcrawler, right? Did we see this before?
No, I don't think so.
So I think they're getting ready to reveal X-Men 97. Nightcrawler is going to be part of their X-Men 97 line for the Mondo 1/6 scale. That's a 12-inch action figures.
That's cool.
And nobody here collects those, right?
No,
Yeah. I think
I don't do anything 1/6.
they look really cool and stuff like that. But now that I read what they're going to be doing with tariffs, that's going to be a tough swallow because I think these are like
They're already pricey.
they're already prices.
Gambit and Rogue are 260 and 210 respectively.
Yeah, and plus whatever their surcharge is.
Yeah, well, that's yeah. Jeez. No.
All right, and then this is a 1/18 scale Hiya Toys. We saw these before, but this is actually I think up for order now. And this is the Michonne figure.
Yeah.
Looks
Yeah.
good. I got to tell you, it's
Yeah.
good.
I had to look twice at that one because I thought there's no way that's a 118.
Yeah, that's me too. I had to actually read it. Like, hey, that is a 1/18 scale.
Wait, what?
Dude, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, you got to look at the picture. It like pull it up if you can and look at that sculpt, man, because you're gonna be like, there's no way that's a 118.
Yeah, that looks like a 112.
Yeah, an easy 6-inch figure, but it's not. It's the
Huh.
Hiya Toys, and apparently, like people that have gotten these like 1/18 like GI Joe's figures say they are fantastic. They are so much detail in them, and they look good. I mean, in the picture. So,
I thought the GI Joes that they did were really pricey though.
if these were 6-inch figures, honestly, because of the detailing and how good they look, I probably would pick a few of the characters up because I was a big fan of The Walking Dead. And I, so much so that I made my own custom 1/6 scale GI out of GI Joe figures and stuff of some Walking Dead figures. And I would pick some up if they were in the 6-inch scale, and they looked good, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm sure if they blew this up to 1/12 or 1/6, you'd get maybe a hopefully better face sculpt, but that still looks pretty good for a 3 3/4.
no, I'm telling you, it looks really good. I mean, like, I don't think I don't have the picture like in a high quality on my computer, so I can't just pop it up separately. But it does look really good. If you go on to Twitter or something and look for it, you can see it does look really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder
Right.
if
And then this is a Revoltech X-Men.
cable.
Oh, sorry. The toy trio. What? Anyways,
Funny.
Revoltech's okay. Their stuff's okay. It's not the greatest, right? Like,
I have no experience with them.
I had one Iron Man.
it's a little like a cheaper version of a SH Figure Arts.
Okay.
I was not impressed. He broke.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it was the ankle.
Okay.
It broke off on the. So it didn't. It broke. I can't remember how they. So their pins come off, right?
Yes,
I don't remember for sure. I think I got the piece out. I just couldn't. I lost an ankle. I lost a foot.
They're not the greatest, right? But they're okay. Especially if you're not going to be shoot, I don't know what's going on. Especially if you're not going to be like posing them a lot. Like if you're just going to pose them and put them on the shelf, they're fine.
Sure. Yeah. No. He looked. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. He looked great. His accessories were awesome.
Jonathan, of course, is telling me that they cost way more than SH Figure Arts, but yes, I consider them the cheaper version of SH Figure Arts. And what I meant by that is quality. But yeah, I get what you're saying. They're like more expensive. Revoltech's got a good name, right? These are the new Playmates Ninja Turtles, something or others. I guess they popped up on some website. I know Eric cannot wait to get his new Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection going.
I see him
No,
there.
these are cool. These are cool. If I had the space, I'd get some Playmates versions of the turtles, but I'm limiting myself
might
to
fit in the Ghost.
I'm limiting myself to the NECA cartoon turtles.
Like if you were really like you could get them and they could be infiltrating the cell barge.
Just yeah, I could do that. I could put Swamp Thing there too. Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine like you get that ramen razor, crash it into the side of the cell barge. You have Mad Max running through the cell barge and stuff like that.
Actually, I have a better idea. I have some Rick and Morty figures. I should probably put those in the sail barge. That would be funny, I think.
It would be. Maybe well, these Ninja Turtles would definitely not fit inside of the Star Speeder.
No, they'd be too wide for the seats.
That's too bad. All right, and then is this one figure that did they announce this one on the main forum?
No, they didn't announce it at all. It was just the the most recent and last Andor Target exclusive.
Have we seen this guy in the Andor show?
No.
So maybe he's to come in the last 3 episodes?
Probably.
So, okay. Because, yeah, it was like, well, this is really cool. But, I mean.
Unless this was the sniper?
No, I don't think so. Because I think the sniper was, like, not uniformed, right?
I don't think he had armor on, but.
And he was one of those. And he wasn't one of those riot control guys because they were
in all black. Yeah.
Yeah, they look like the ones that were on Ferrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we might. My guess is it's the one guy, Kygo, or the sniper, or some other character we won't see until the next set of episodes.
Okay. Well, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I do like it. All right. And then this set came out.
Yeah. Good.
This wasn't announced either, right?
No, this just popped up in the middle of the night with the Commander Cody helmet.
So were they? Do you think they were like, how can we sell another one of these droids?
Yeah, probably. I mean, they've got the molds. Like, it's not a bad idea for repaints and whatnot. So
would this be a K2 or KX droid that would be like on Hoth?
this, no,
Yeah.
this was used by, I can't remember the name of the group, but it was like some like kind of like pirate group
Oh, okay.
in Jedi Survivor.
Oh, that makes sense then. Okay, I was wondering why it was all painted white.
Yeah, this was like one of the factions that you went off against in Jedi Survivor, as well as the Empire.
Okay, so let's see. Cedar Stuff is say, who wants to buy the sniper from a massacre? Let's see. I have there, and there's an amazing, but the Arkham Knight figure is a QC nightmare. I've heard that CT Toys are doing bootlegs of their stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Jonathan.
Okay.
He was saying something about the QC issues for Revoltech, and he's like, it's just hit or miss, but you know.
Yeah.
Should have known that before I got my Iron Man. Then he said, yeah, it's hit or miss.
And then these are Universal Monsters. I think we talked about these before, but the thing is, I thought was interesting is Super 7 saying that they're going to come in blind boxes at Walmart.
Oh,
And I'm thinking to myself, like, how many blind boxes will you buy before you realize you're not buying anymore because you can't complete the set?
I've done that.
yeah. I usually don't do blind boxes.
Yeah.
I did it with the Muppet, those Lego Muppets.
There's got to be a way to tell, though, right? Like, if you look at the box really closely, there's got to be, like...
You could crack it open.
Well,
Be
I don't
that
know.
guy.
Yeah.
I've seen people do it at the store.
That takes away, but they're probably inside, like, a plastic bag in there.
I haven't done it,
Do
but
you remember the 1 year the Hot Wheels did the chase, and they were black, the plastic was black.
Oh, and everybody opened them?
Oh, I found so many of those opened up. Yeah.
But it could be, there could be like a little code on the packaging, right? So that could be helpful. Hopefully there's like a little code so people don't have to open them up. All right. And then some sort of glow in the dark head Godzilla or something. Head, hands, and feet. I don't get
it's
it.
just weird. Yeah, it's just weird that the extremities are white. It's
They
like,
should have called this the Godzilla was out in the snow and got frostbite in his head, hands, and feet.
or dipped his face in like a ocean of cocaine or something.
Oh, Cocaine Godzilla.
Cokezilla.
Like that bear.
Yeah. Cocaine. That was a funny movie.
That was good.
Gap is saying hello. All right, and then I think this might be the last picture. I guess Dwight put this up from Marvel Legends. He's got the Sentinel, the giant Sentinel, standing there with all his big figures, and that's how they'll size up with like Galactus and Giant Man. You know what he's missing? He's missing the other Sentinel.
The HasLab.
Yeah, the HasLab Sentinel, to see how they kind of stack up next to each other.
Probably couldn't get him to stand up with those knees.
Yeah, it's good, but I just feel like the torso looks a little bit off to me. It looks like, you know, when you have these guys that are really in shape and they're like 20s or whatever, and then they gain some weight, but then they try to work out again and their bodies are like really thick. Like mine,
Yeah.
right? Where your torso is just like really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also a robot.
It's true, right? So he, I mean, unless
You're talking about the physique of a robot.
I mean, is it supposed to open up and like little sentinels fly out? And then what are those three little?
Wait, that's Master Mold.
The three little lines on his little
That's
chest
his hamburger icon.
or whatever. Is that like a vent or something like that? So, or so the people inside can see out. Hey,
It's to open up his settings menu.
I know. I'm just making fun of it because I didn't order.
No, I
one,
know. Yeah.
But I like it. Like I said, I don't know what is it, Dan. What is right behind him? The dude in the mask.
Jason?
Is that a horror figure?
Yeah, that's Pamela Voorhees.
Is yeah, but is that?
Man,
I mean,
to get
why-
everybody fired up again.
have you seen anything like that that stands that tall?
That big?
Yeah.
Trick or Treat Studios, maybe.
Oh, okay. See, these are like figures for like people who have a boatload of money.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. That's a couple $100 figure for sure. That if that Jason is that big, yeah. I mean, it could be Hot Toys too. I don't know.
Could be.
1.6 maybe.
Anyways, for everybody who ordered the giant Sentinel, I think it looks good. Congratulations. I did not get one.
Threat detected.
All right. That's the last of my slides. All right. That's all I could find. Did I miss anything? Did you guys see anything that I did not see?
I want to say there was something, but
Well, it was too late for you to have caught it, but the Operation Monster Force had a couple new drops.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I saw their email. Hold on, let me go back to that. And but they came out yesterday, right? Like
That's why I said it was too late for you to have caught it.
they were like,
Yeah, I want to say it was Friday.
hey, order these with last year's. Oh no. Okay, so let me. But the thing is, I feel like we might have like showed these before. Let me see
I don't think those three because it was three unique. There was the agent. No, not the agent. Hold on.
No, you're right.
Was
It looks like the guy from The Matrix.
Yep. Agent Smith looks like. And the general, and then the creepy dude with the green eyes.
Did that come up now? Okay. Yeah, these guys, right? And of course, I can't zoom in.
Yeah.
That's
No, I don't
Hmm.
remember if those were. Is that the same? Is it just a different head that's being offered for the?
Yeah, no, I feel like if we click on this guy, this general, we looked at him before, and I feel like he had a couple of different. Did he come with like different heads, right? Like, see how he's got the different heads where
Yeah.
you buy one and he can be multiple people. So I think we did talk about these. Oh, let's see. Oh, why is okay? Hold on. See, I opened up the Big Bad Toy Store when I clicked on it, and then it didn't share that page, and I'm like just scrolling through it, like, okay, there. So this is the general, and he comes with like the hat, the different hands, the different heads. And I think we looked at these before because it was like, oh, you could get this guy, and then like this head reminds me of like maybe the 12-inch GI Joe, and it would be really cool if that was like flocked hair, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah, I thought we did. Yeah, you're right. But so why did they it made it look like it was brand new?
I think because they just threw up the pre-orders or something like that, or that's the weirdest thing. Yeah, it makes me wonder if like they had them up and then they pulled them down and then they had them up
Yeah.
again, right? Like, or if their system is messed up, so when they took them down to adjust prices or something like that, or glitched, it just resent everybody an email
Yeah.
saying,
Well,
hey,
it's not on-
new pre-orders.
yeah, and it's on the top of their front page too. So
Yeah, Cedar's calling that one Gregory Peck head sculpt. I almost feel like you could use that one for Thaddeus Ross potentially.
oh yeah, you're right. You could. Yeah.
You know, like if you wanted to put him with your Hulk or something like that.
Paisano ordered them on 418, so they were up there. They were up once. Yeah. That's weird. And it even said, I'm looking at it, it even says Q2 2025. Well, that's pretty much, you better get them out right now because
That's what I'm saying. But it doesn't matter because that's what Mythic Legion said too on that Necromonious wave or whatever. It was Yeah, it was originally Q1. Now it was Q2, and now it's like not even in production if you go to their actual website. But for some reason, they don't have to put those into production yet. But they can just have stuff that in stock. So they've been producing stuff apparently to have in stock sales. But they're just not producing the wave that they announced a year and a half ago and took pre-orders for.
Yeah. And they've only got a month and a half, or they're going to be late.
I'm telling you, these
Right now it says
these
Bill
guys are
Sanders.
like getting way too ahead of themselves at some point. Maybe they're just hoping everybody's going to forget what they ordered. Oh, they'll just
One thing I noticed that Star Wars droid, the Jita Mini or whatever.
yeah. Is it sold out yet?
Well, I'm not sure it's sold out. It's definitely been pulled from the Disney Store's website. So
Oh, really?
yeah. So it could be sold out. They may have just had such small quantity, but I wonder if it just got pulled because of like backlash.
Maybe they just realized, oh,
This is a bad look. You can buy it from the manufacturer of the Gita or Gita Mini, but still the same jacked up price from their non Star Wars sticker version.
but if you get it from their site, does it still have those stickers and stuff on it?
Yeah, this one does. Yeah, but it's at still the higher price point. It's still it's cool technology. It's just not worth the price for the limited utility it provides.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just thought it was I just thought it was funny that like maybe it just sold out and I'm wrong, but I have a suspicion it was just
well,
pulled.
I did make fun of it in the middle of the week. I kind of
Yeah.
posted a picture of it saying to everyone's surprise, this has not been sold out. Maybe that drove a whole bunch of traffic over to their site when people got all excited that they can go spend close to $3,000 for something that can tote around their 6-pack.
Yeah.
Prophet says that Mythic Legion shipped.
Oh,
and
maybe I'm thinking of the wrong wave. I'm thinking of the bear, the one with the bear.
Oh,
You know what I mean? What wave is that? The one with the bear and Neva or whatever, Neve. Because I ordered those things like over a year and a half ago or whatever, and I still haven't seen them. And when I looked on their website, it said in production, but they were originally supposed to be. They were originally Q1, now then they moved them to Q2, and now we're already in Q3. So I mean, obviously not coming in Q2.
Bodvar?
I'm trying to remember. Thought it was the
Right,
next.
yeah, it says Q2. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Q2, right? But Q2's over, so I mean,
Q2's not over.
yeah.
They got a month.
Oh, okay. So are they going by calendar or fiscal quarters?
I mean, I would guess calendar. I mean, who would?
Oh, I thought everybody used fiscal quarters.
Other than
I mean, the fiscal calendar could be the like real calendar, but sometimes other companies have different.
Because fiscal calendars are typically like October to end of September. Right?
It could be any month to any month. It doesn't have to be
just
that,
depending on how they do their. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because in like retail, we always.
Oh no.
Was February to January.
Hold on. I'm gonna pull up the bear.
There's some industries where they do their fiscal calendars at certain times of the year to like make a better look for like year-end financial statements and whatnot.
Yeah. No, it's like Big Bad Toy Store shows it. Unless Prophet's looking at the Mythic Legion's site, the Big Bad Toy Store is still showing it Q2 of 2025.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vern.
Oh yeah, that bear and that figure, they were not Q4. They were supposed to already be here in January.
Yeah.
originally.
Mhm.
This Q2 that they're showing on here on their on Big Bad's website, that is a pushback from a changeover, because it actually said, I have a screenshot. It actually said something else before, but does it come up? Yeah, so you can see it says Q2, and I thought they were going on fiscal quarters, so I guess they still have another month or so.
Well, no company, even if they have a fiscal calendar different than like a normal calendar, no company would like refer to like second quarter 2025 and not mean like April through June.
Right.
I mean, that would be all sorts of like confusing if they start expecting you to know their like fiscal calendar.
Okay, let's see. Hold on.
But you didn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know there was it's every 7 years. If you use a fiscal calendar, I want to say it's every 7. There's like a magic week where like nothing counts. It's like it's called like a week 53. I guess they work the way the fiscal world works. At least for the stores that I've worked at in the past, anybody that's worked retail probably knows. There's that magic week where it like even the sales don't count. So like literally nothing. They can't. It will screw up everything in their system if they add that 53rd week, because every 7 years it pulls up.
Yeah.
And so they literally like everything just as a Y. Like they're open, but nothing counts towards anything. It's weird.
I have no awareness of this. How do you get an extra week in the year?
It's the 52, right? To make the fiscal and make it perfectly even.
Right.
Every 7 years, there's like
because they're still using like complete months.
Yes. So every 3, because your fiscal month doesn't always end in.
So you're
January 31st. It might end on February 1st.
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
Start on January 30th. So they're going by 365 days versus 52 weeks. So by the time you're all said and done, it's like after a while it adds up. So every 7 years you got an extra 7 days.
Yeah, like so I like what you're saying, Dan, is like my pay calendar last year I think ended on January 10th or 11th or something like that.
Right.
Because it was a Saturday. Yeah. And then the new year pay calendar started on like the Sunday or whatever. Yeah, that makes sense. And then apparently like with leap years, right, you get a leap year every 4 years, but every like 100 years or something like that, they skip the leap year because it's too much time. But then every like 1,000 years you have to add it back. There's some math related to like the leap year, because
I was keeping track of this.
Yeah,
we're blowing Eric's mind.
No, I'm just like thinking like, okay, it's fine. Like I'm sure there's like a good mathematical reason for doing all of this and like compensating in this manner, but who's actually keeping track?
Nobody.
I mean, hundreds of years from now, like.
Yeah. Somebody is, because I mean there's a master calendar out there.
Yeah, somebody knows.
Calendars are funny. All right. Now let's see.
Speaking of calendar, man. Sean Gunn is playing a different role in Peacemaker than Calendar Man. He was Calendar Man in the Suicide Squad movie.
Okay.
Minor role. He was also Weasel, but he's playing what's his name, Maxwell Lord in Peacemaker.
Okay.
The character Pedro Pascal just played in Wonder Woman.
Oh, that's interesting. He didn't want to reprise his role for Peacemaker?
I mean, I'm sure James Gunn just knew he wanted to do like different direction as much as possible with things.
That's actually another show that we haven't like talked about at all, was The Last of Us season 2.
I've never watched. I haven't watched any of it. I haven't played the game either.
Jumpy. There's a guy with the abacus keeping track, and then the guy with the slide rule is checking his math.
Yeah.
All right. You guys got anything else you want to talk about before we head out?
I Kind of mowed the lawn today.
Oh yeah.
Exciting.
Sorry about. You know what? It's actually a really hot day today, so I've been excused from any type of yard work
Lame.
this weekend.
Lame.
I gotta do it, but probably won't until tomorrow.
All right.
In trouble.
Well,
That's right.
no yard work for us. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little over an hour and a half on a Saturday afternoon, talking toys and being kind of mischievous, I guess, right? Like with a little bit. But anyways, we'll see you next time on the Toy Duo team.
When you have addiction and your shelves are overflowing. Hold tight. When you don't know what new is coming, but you fear you might miss out. Just sit right back. Just relax and watch and listen. The Toy Duo team brings you what you need. The toy news you didn't know you needed. Action figures, TV news, all the pop culture you can handle.
I love it when a plan